What's something easy to find but hard to lose? Weight, especially menopausal weight. Today, I want to share with you 5 tips to help lose weight quickly, safely, and with long term results. And if you stick around till the very end, I've got 3 more bonus tips, and I hope you get to hear those too. I'll be covering why we gain weight so easily when we're in menopause and what menopause belly or menobelly is, tips for managing stress and improving your sleep, how to improve energy, and some healthier choices when it comes to food. I really struggle with losing weight, especially that menopausal weight. And I'm going to guess, since you're here, you might struggle with it too. I know they say eat less, exercise more, but is there more? Does that work? Let me know in the comments if that's something that you do and it works really well for you, because I'm sorry, it hasn't worked well for me. As we get older and we go through the change and we are experiencing hormonal decline, it actually fluctuates up and down. And so we have those hormonal symptoms, those menopausal symptoms, but we also start depleting in everything. It also reduces the amount of muscle mass that we make or retain. It reduces our metabolism that burns that fat. It also slows down our digestion. And I hate to say it, but there's a few people out there that are on pills that may make that accelerate by slowing down the digestive process even more. All of those things can really be a problem. Extra weight decreases our energy, our libido, our self confidence, and it increases our chances of heart disease, health problems. It can actually lead to depression. So I want to start off by saying that the number one thing, and please don't shoot me. I was very big doing this and I still do it, but it's something that I have to stop. It's something that it's making us fat. And that's multitasking. Don't hit me. I was the biggest advocate for multitasking. Brian Tracy said, nobody can technically multitask. And I thought, let me show you. Not only can I do this, and this, but I can do it really well. And guess what? I can do it really well, but not without it taking a toll on my body. And you can't do it either without taking a toll on your body. What does it do to our body? Well, it increases our adrenaline production, which can also lead to anxiety when you're constantly revving an engine, which is what we do when we live in that state of adrenaline, which we do when we put ourselves under that pressure of multitasking constantly or waiting to the last minute, which is another thing I'm very, very guilty of. It's kind of a rush. It's a rush to wait to the last minute to get things done. And then I'm stuck with doing it fast, multitasking. And of course, that just stresses the adrenal glands. So that is something that we really need to focus on and maybe stop, take a deep breath, and enjoy what it is that we're doing. Time blocking is incredible. I've really found that that's been extremely helpful for me. If I make time to do it, I can do it better. So I don't have to redo it. It's something that I could actually enjoy more when I do it because I'm not trying to do 15 other things at the same time. Multitasking, it is something that we women learn as parents, wives, as employees, as business owners. We learn to do it. We can fold clothes, talk on the phone, listen to a podcast. We can do dishes and feed the dogs. We can do so many things at one time. But just because we can doesn't mean it's good for us. Paul says in the Bible, just because you can do it doesn't mean it's beneficial. And guys, it's not beneficial. So let's cut back on that multitasking and be present in the moment. So let's say you've done this your whole life, like some of us, and it's something that's become a habit. Your body is used to pumping out that adrenaline. So as we self-medicate with maybe caffeine and sugar, we are creating another vicious cycle. And guess what it also does? It increases your cortisol production, which in turn gives us that menobelly. Menobelly is almost like a pregnancy belly. We gain it into the upper part of our belly, just under the rib cage. If your adrenal glands are waking you up in the middle of the night, 2 o'clock in the morning, you're wide awake, you can't go back to sleep, which we're going to talk about sleep next. But a really great helpful product that has just changed the game for me is called Adrenal Complex. I will post a link for it in the description. It's very inexpensive. It's about $12 to $15 a month. It has supportive herbs for the adrenal glands to help nourish them. And it also has a glandular in it. Now, this is a great opportunity for me to say, I'm not a doctor and I don't play one on TV. So please always check with your healthcare professional before you start any supplements, exercise programs, dietary changes. It's really something that is between the two of you guys. But what works for me is the adrenal complex that really helps me gain more energy during the day. And then it helps me to sleep through the night. And number two, we're talking about sleep. Sleep is essential. Our body heals and repairs during the time that we are sleeping. If you wake up in the middle of the night, do not pick up the phone because ambient light or screen light is going to disrupt that pattern of melatonin in the brain. And then it's going to be very difficult for you to get back to sleep or at least into a good, healthy, deep sleep. I know we've been told that the older we get, the less sleep we need, but that's not true. We still need that 7 to 8 hours a night as sleep for our body to do what it needs to do to wake up refreshed the next day. So really focus on that. There are a couple of great things that you can do to increase the quality of sleep. Number one is magnesium. Magnesium helps to relax the entire body. You want to make sure that you're using a good magnesium like a glycinate or an aspartate, something like that. Maybe even a citrate that would work, but stay away from magnesium oxide. That is something that will actually just work on the bowels and it won't give you any whole body benefits. So pay attention to the kind of magnesium you're taking. And I'm just going to put this out there. If you're buying an off the shelf Walmart brand of vitamins, you may not be getting the quality that you're going to get if you go to a health food store or a very reputable brand. I'm not saying that's always the case, but that is sometimes the case. I'll give you a quick story. My husband was taking melatonin for sleep. He had bought it when he was out of town and he was having a hard time sleeping. He told me, well, melatonin doesn't work for me. And I said, well, how much are you taking? He said 20 milligrams. And I said, 20 milligrams. That is an insane amount of melatonin. What kind is it? And he told me what it was. And it was some kind of over the counter something that he had gotten. And I said, listen, let me tell you what to get. Go get this one. So I recommended that he go and grab what we take at home, which is a 3 milligram product. And he slept like a baby and that worked for him. Quality does matter. So please pay attention and really seek out what is working. Another thing that you can do is make sure that an hour or two before bed, at least if you're going to watch TV, keep it dim, keep those bright lights from shutting down that melatonin production. Make sure you don't have any lights on in the house that are not necessary, at least in the room. Pitch black is the best way. And of course, all of us menopausal women know have it cooler. If you can lower that temperature down to a couple of degrees cooler than what you want it normally during the day, or a lot of degrees. For me, it's about 10 degrees cooler. That helps us to get into a deeper sleep. If you think about it, animals that hibernate in the cold. That's what we want to do. We want to hibernate overnight. Exercising throughout the day is also going to give you a little bit better sleep because you're letting those muscles burn off some of that excess energy. Number three is water. Every video you see is going to just have a snippet on water. There are people out there that do not like the taste of water. And I get that. I was that person many years ago. And it wasn't until I basically got sick and I had to realize the value of water. Then I started forcing myself. And it's just like anything. I mean, people that drink coffee didn't just pick up their first cup of black coffee and go, this is fantastic. No, they didn't. And if they did, then I don't know, they're crazy, but it's something that you have to build and acquire a taste for. And you can do that with water. The goal is half your body weight in ounces of water every day. And that does not mean what you get in your Diet Coke or your iced tea. It means pure, clean water, just like you would take a shower in water. Half your body weight converted to ounces looks like this. If you weigh 150 pounds, you're looking at about 75 ounces of water. Now, if there's a health problem that you have that you cannot drink that much water, again, check with your healthcare practitioner and see what you can do. Another thing that water is great for is helping you feel full. And I'm going to talk a little more about that in tip number 5. Now, number 4 is another great way to make you feel full, and that is eating more meat and protein and fat. And I know that is so opposite of all the things that we've been taught for the last 30 or 40 years. The pyramid has very little oil on the top and fats. Then it goes to meats, and then it goes to vegetables and fruits. And then at the bottom is grain. And I'll tell you what, you take that pyramid and you flip it upside down and you put very, very little bit of greens, a lot of fruit and vegetables because they're always good for you, but then a lot more meats and proteins and fats and oils that are good for you. And your body will be so happy because that is what we really need in order to build muscle and to be satisfied. So we're not constantly just throwing things in our mouth. The more satisfied that you are when you eat, the less you eat, the less often you eat, the less calories you consume. So if you can get, 30 to 40 grams of protein per meal, you'll feel satisfied more often. So that also kind of brings in the whole keto thing or the carnivore diet. If you haven't heard about that, I watched this gentleman. He was in his 70s or something, and he was doing the carnivore diet. And I was so impressed. He simply said, if you're hungry, eat meat. It's more satisfying. And don't wait until you're really hungry. Make the decision to do it ahead of time. Have that ready to go so that you eat it. So you don't want all that sugar and carbs. Eventually, those higher in fat and protein meals are going to give your body more energy. At first, if you're really used to eating a lot of sugar and a lot of carbs, it's going to be a change. It's going to be a little bit of a shock, but I promise you it's a good one because after a few days and even a few weeks, your body will start to get into that, which leads me to tip number 5, and that is intermittent fasting. I love intermittent fasting for so many reasons. Number 1 is I don't have to think about eating. So I can actually know what I'm going to eat the day before, which is always a good thing to have that ahead of time and kind of know so you're not waiting till you're starving before you do it. And then I just drink water. Every time I start to get hungry, I will chug a big bottle of water or a big glass of water, little tiny bit of sea salt in it, Himalayan salt, Celtic salt, whatever you want, just a pinch. You don't really even want to taste it. That's how we're going to get our mineral. That's how we're going to absorb that water. It's going to satisfy our hunger. We're really not hungry most of the time we think we are. We're really just thirsty. I try to leave my eating window anywhere between 4 and 8 hours. When I'm trying to lose weight, I cut it back to 4 hours. When I am just kind of maintaining, I keep it at 8. Or if I'm at a stressful time where I've got so many things going on, or I'm traveling, or family is in town, then I want to keep it at that 8 hours during that time. And that really helps me maintain. Intermittent fasting, or IF, is fantastic as a great jumpstart to help you get some quick results. It's very beneficial for the body as your body can actually cleanse itself better when you're not constantly giving it food. Your body has a chance to do other things than digest food, which means, again, healing and repairing, cleaning things out. There are so many incredible things on intermittent fasting, and I can't go into all the great details of it, but there's a great book called Fast, Feast, Repeat by Jen Stevens, and I will link that also in the description so that you can see it. Listen to it on audiobook. You can play it in the background. It has some really amazing tips, and you guys, it could be a game changer for you. Maybe you want to not eat a ton of meat or do keto, but this is another great way to lose weight in a healthier way. And again, check with that doctor, make sure it's okay for you. It has been so good for me. It's actually helped with my skin, along with great skincare, of course. It's helped with my energy levels, and it makes me more productive because I'm not thinking about food all the time. As far as eating windows, that means is you're going to fast for so many hours. That can include the time that you sleep at night, that 7 to 8 hours that you're getting rest. That's included in there because you're not eating. And then you try to go as long as you can without having any calories or anything that is going to stimulate your body to produce insulin or stomach acid, anything with flavor, artificial sugars, even artificial flavorings can stimulate your body to start producing insulin. And that actually shuts your fast down. So for me, I get up, drink lots of water, have my black coffee, which I never thought that I could do, but hey, here I'm doing it. And now I don't even want coffee with cream in it or sweeteners or anything like that. Have black coffee or black tea. You can have certain herbal teas, but I would really look into the book before I would add any herbal teas in there. Have more water. And then when I'm ready to eat, noon to 8, I can eat in that window. Try to eat healthy. If you can, don't hate yourself if you're going to fall off that wagon. And then if you really want to kick things into gear, then you can tighten that window and do maybe 2 to 6 p.m. Okay, so now for these bonus tips. Number one, I recommend getting a buddy. Get a friend. Iron sharpens iron. And if you get somebody to support rather than saying, hey, let's go out to eat, you guys can maybe do a little competition, maybe do some type of a challenge that will motivate you to have success. Set little goals up with little rewards at the end. But a buddy system is really, really helpful. And number two, plan ahead. You are going to have better resistance to that temptation if you already have a plan in place. And number three is be active, not just exercising, but be active. Visualize yourself as being an active person, someone that's on the go, someone that doesn't have time to always sit around and think about food. Get yourself a project. Maybe you can help somebody. Maybe you can volunteer. Nothing brings a person more joy, even more so than food, than doing kindness for other people. So get out there and be kind. Let me know if you plan on trying any or all of these tips. Thanks for sticking around till the end. As a reward, you get to watch a few bloopers because I like to laugh at myself, enjoy these bloopers, which in turns makes us fatter. Duh. Sounds like I think I'm funny. Anyhow, I laugh at my own jokes. And again, this is me telling you this that, and I was the one saying, but it's resveratrol. It's good for you as I would partake, but it's really not. It's actually better for you to drink water.